Guys, we're back on the Cape, and this trip is all about three things: Breasthook, Toerails, and Cetol. That is it for this trip, because I basically have two really nice days, although we're already 4 o'clock on a Monday, so it's just whatever day I've got left here, and then tomorrow. But we have all day tomorrow with gorgeous weather, so it's all about getting all the exterior wood on this boat all Cetoled and ready. And I'll explain a little bit later after we get down to the cabin how much of what's going to be done. Kind of stuffy down here, but smelling very boaty. I love it. And you know, this is the first time I can remember in a long time that I haven't come down here and not anticipated rain at some point. The only problem is I'm only here for basically what's left of this day, and we've got Mom and Dad's 70th wedding anniversary tonight. And let's see, hang on a minute, let me just turn this around. As I started to say, we've got Mom and Dad's 70th wedding anniversary tonight. My wife is already in there getting things ready to grill the filet mignon and all the kind of goodies that we're going to be having for the celebration. And so I've got some time. She doesn't need me in the kitchen. My brother's helping right now. And so I'm out here, and I'm just going to get some things started. Got to get the woodwork all uncovered, and like I said, we're all about Breasthook, Toerails, and Cetol. And I got to get going here and kind of see where we're at. I'm almost positive that as far as the starboard Toerails, I know they've got two coats, you know, fore and aft, all the way. And I know the Breasthook has one coat. So anyway, that's the job. I'm going to start sanding right now. I don't have to cover this for the night because we have no rain coming in. And tomorrow I'm going to be back over here bright and early. My brother and his family are all going to be out of here by 6 o'clock in the morning to go pick up another relative. So I'm going to come over and grab early breakfast with Mom and Dad, and I'm just going to get to work. And it's all going to be about getting all that woodwork sanded and clean down, and then just start the Cetol. And I'm just so chomping at the bit. So, you know what? It's really nice when you can limit it to one project. And since I've got basically one good day, I'm glad to just limit it to that one project and get her done. So, all right. Hey, welcome back to Restoring Little Girl. Glad you've joined us here, and so glad to be back down here. I love working on this boat. Okay, so here's the scoop. One more coat starboard will do it. I know this has at least two, and I think three. The problem is every time I come down here, when I get a chance to get Cetol on, I'm interrupted by some more rain coming in, so I have to cover everything back up. But I know this has two on, and I'm going to give it the third one. And then up in the bow, the Breasthook has to be done again. That's only one coat up there. Then on port, I have it done back to, let me see if you can see. Okay, you can see it right there. And then it starts again right here at the back of the cabin and goes all the way to the stern. I've already sanded out this section for the most part. That one section, which is basically the length of the cabin, does not have any Cetol on it at all. And that's going to be my concentration for tomorrow morning, is getting that on first so it has time to dry, and then get on the rest of this and get it caught up. Breasthook, definitely, that one's going to get a second coat up there. It's going to be tough to level all this out because it's been done in stages as the weather permitted. The other thing that I'm dealing with here is that one time I came, when I got everything done from the bow back to the front of the cabin, I had to quit right there because some moisture had gotten in underneath. And as a result, there was kind of water laying in all along the bottom of that the tow rail. And you can't put Cetol on when it's wet, so I'm letting everything dry out here overnight. I'll get this sanded out first thing in the morning, and then get that first coat of Cetol Cetol on that section that goes the length of the cabin. So, all right, well, family is arriving. I probably ought to get off the boat and go in and spend some time with my family. So I'm so chomping at the bit to get to the point where this thing's ready to go in the water, because it definitely horrifically needs a complete scrub down. It is filthy with being under a tarp and under pine trees, and it's just so grungy. So the day is coming, and she'll get all cleaned up and just all ship shape and Bristol fashion and get out on the water, and then I won't have to worry about that crap. Hi guys, wrap up of the day. Had an awesome evening with Mom and Dad, and did their 70th wedding anniversary. Had a cake, and just a wonderful time. I asked Dad, so what is the key to 70 years of marriage? He said, love and commitment. I was expecting that, okay, but then Mom said, and patience. So yeah. Anyway, but I'll tell you what, at my age, which is 69, to have your mom and dad still alive and well and in their own house, and be able to have an anniversary for them, pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I feel very blessed. And it was great. Had the whole family there, all gathered around, and it was just a wonderful evening. So, all right, tomorrow morning I'll be right back. Bright and early, and got to continue sanding. I actually got all the sanding done up to about midships from the stern on the port side. Man, I got to finish all the way to the bow. I just need to get that whole port side done tomorrow, and particularly the section that I showed earlier where the cabin, that one section of tow rail from the front to the back of the cabin is just not even, it hadn't had anything put on it. So, all right. Hey, guys, we'll see you in the morning. Just wanted to come out here and do a wrap-up, and thanks for stopping by Restoring Little Girl, and look forward to more. The thing I forgot to mention was that my brother and his family are staying with Mom and Dad, so there is no room in the inn, as the saying goes. So anyway, we're staying at a motel out in Yarmouth, and not a great motel, and I won't say anything more about that, but anyway, it is now about 10 minutes to 6, but the beauty of it is nothing but absolutely gorgeous weather coming on today, so it should be a really good, productive day. First thing I'm gonna do is get that the port tow rail completely sanded out, and once that's done, man, the Cetol's going on. So anyway, with that, I'm closing down because I guess I shouldn't be recording and driving at the same time. But anyway, I'm not even looking at this. All right, guys. We'll see you back over to Mom and Dad's house, and we'll get started with all the work. Well, back aboard Little Girl, and out here with a cup of coffee. Breakfast is already eaten, and it is right now 6:35. So we're finish this cup of coffee and get to work. My brother and his whole family are heading for Boston for the day. I got no reason to be hanging out in the house, so it's all about get the work done. All right, we'll be back on this as soon as we get this cup of coffee drank. This is all going to get swept in a minute, get all the pine needles and crap off of here, but I put a piece of tape down at the end of the Cetol work coming back from the Breasthook, and then another piece of tape down there showing where I've got Cetol up from the stern. So all of this, from this piece of tape to this piece of tape, has not had any Cetol whatsoever. I mean, I stripped this 2 summers ago. All of this, all the tow rails, all the woodwork out here was completely stripped. Tow rails and Breasthook, that is. So anyway, I gotta keep sanding. I'm sanded all the way up to that back piece of tape right there, but I'm going to get the ladder and move it over here and continue on the sanding, get that done. And the first thing I'm going to do is get Cetol on this one section here that's basically raw wood since it all got stripped off. So, all right, get to work. Well, I'm about to sweep all this out and get started. The Toerails all sanded through this section. This is what happens when you don't use stainless steel cotter pins. I don't know if you can see this. Right now, that is really difficult to get out. That one was broken off a long time ago, and it has gone completely to rust, and it's a mess. I'm going to have get something and drive that out and get all new stainless cotter pins to go into this. What a mess. Anyway, I'm not going to mess with it right now. I'm on the Toerails today, and I'm not going to take time to deal with it. But just a word of caution: if you use cotter pins with your setup, most people don't anymore. I guess they use those special clips, whatever. But use stainless. I mean, this is ridiculous. I have a whole box of regular old cotter pins in the boat right now that was from the last owners, and I'm never going to use them. I'm going to get something that's going to be that's going to work without having to go through this crap where they've all got to be driven out of there or, you know, wedged out of there in some way. So, okay, enough on that. All right, guys, the tow rail and the Breasthook are done. On the port side, everything is sanded stem to stern, and we're ready to get started. So, looking forward to it. Cetol has all been mixed and stirred, I should say. Right, well, this is called Escape to the Cabin. It is such a racket out there. I mean, I couldn't stand, you know, I love Cape Cod, but honestly, I mean, it is incessant landscapers and groundskeepers with all kinds of machines buzzing and going all stinking day long. Anyway, well, whatever. The point is, I've got everything Cetol on the starboard side up to amidships, and I just finished sanding out everything forward up to the Breasthook. So I'm gonna get back out there and try to finish up all the Cetol on starboard before lunchtime. So making awesome progress. It looks like there's not going to be any rain after all. The thing that I'm really trying to work on now is see if we can't get one more coat, just one more coat to get a second one on the section that I've got taped on the port, you know, between the tapes. Boy, if I can get that done this trip, that'll be huge. Right now, this is an awesome trip. The day's not over yet. I mean, I'm not even to noontime yet, and already there's been just a tremendous amount accomplished. Sadly, well, it is the way it is, but sadly, it takes a while for Cetol to quote unquote dry. It's just kind of a long, well, it says 24 hours on the can, and that's probably not far off. You can push it a little bit, but all right. Hey, gotta get back to work. Let's get everything done from amidships up to the breasthook and on the starboard, and we'll be good to go at least for now. Then we can go think about some lunch. Four coats of Cetol, which is done. Starboard is completely done. Good news. Well, that's one good thing for this trip. Now if we can just get some of it to dry on the port side, we'll see how much we can get done in the day. Well, got rid of the leaf blower racket. Now the lawnmower racket is going, but in the meantime, this is drying down. Good news on this, because oh yeah, I think by 1 o'clock, and that's what I'm just kind of pulling a figure out of the air. I think by 1 o'clock I'll be able to give this a light sanding and go for a second coat, as I call it, between the tapes. Yeah, this is gonna work out awesome. And if I do that, that gets this one section caught up to the rest of the port side. As I mentioned a minute ago, starboard is completely done now, which is excellent. Just so pleased with that. This is good news. My brother just called, and he thinks he may have a mooring. A buddy of his is extremely wealthy and already has put in a 500-pound mushroom. Good grief, that'll hold 4 of these boats, little 23-footers. He's got a huge, I think it's a 30-something foot nunsuch. Basically, they're a floating living room. But he's just building his house. I mean, his boat is way down in Virginia or something like that. So, in the meantime, good stuff. Good stuff. Made a huge amount of progress today. I'm so pleased with this starboard tow rail. It is done. By next time, I'm going to be able to go ahead and take up all the tape, both, you know, inboard and outboard, and get everything cleaned up. And I would love it if that breasthook would dry down so they can get a third coat on it today, but I don't know that it's going to happen. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I tell you, it doesn't help that it's fairly humid, but you know, we're making some progress here. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna let this go for right now. Waiting for my mom to get home. I'm gonna run up to Panera and grab some lunch with my wife. Back to the good news here. This is not only dry enough to do it, but this is already sanded out tape to tape. Okay, so I'm not going to be filming any of this, but just know, finally, this section of tow rail is going to get caught up with all the rest of the tow rail that's out here and the Cetol that's been put on it. So, back to work. Well, guys, that's what it's going to look like. Those are my refurbished chocks that I did, all solid bronze. And anyway, yeah, it's just coming right along. Okay, stem to stern, entire port tow rail has been done. I need just one more coat next time on the whole thing, and I'm done. But as of right now, very, very happy with the results. I'm not going to be able to get one more coat out of it this time. Just not enough time to dry. We'll see. I can only hope, but I have a feeling it's just not going to be enough time for everything to dry. Starboard is just glorious. You know, every bit of 4 coats of Cetol. Breasthook is now 3 coats. This is all 3 coats all the way down through here. 2 coats on tape to tape. So anyway, it's getting there, guys. Next time I would hope for not any wind. I'm really sick of the pine tree blowing garbage into my fresh Cetol work. So anyway, guys, excellent trip so far. I've now gone through, this is now my third foam brush, and I would say to you, it's possible that Walmart foam brushes may not be as high of a quality as some others. I still would not buy foam brushes at almost $5 a piece up at West Marine. Sorry, I'm just too cheap for that. So, but anyway, hey, this is the third one. But keep in mind, Cetol is very, very heavy body material, and it really torques a foam brush a lot to be applying it, and especially over this many, that many strokes of that much material going down. So anyway, guys, I'm really happy as a clam. This is looking good. Guys, it's been an awesome trip. Aside from going to grab some lunch with my wife, basically I spent the entire day doing nothing but sanding and Cetoling Toerails and Breasthook, and come a long, long way. It's been a great, great trip. So I think what I'm going to do, because tomorrow morning we need to get out of here and get headed back up to Vermont, I think I may go ahead and try to put the tarp on tonight. Maybe not. I mean, there's no rain expected overnight, and I really would like to give these Toerails a chance to dry down substantially before dragging a tarp over the top of them. So we'll see. In the meantime, thanks for dropping by Restoring Little Girl. It's been a great, great trip, and hope you come again. And just be patient. We're getting there. Some of you guys I know have been following me for a long, long time, and it's been over 2 years now. My appreciation, first of all, to this guy named Russ that keeps chiming in, and he said, I've been following you from the very beginning, and he has. But I mean, I just really appreciate so many people that follow along and check out Restoring Little Girl. And we'll get there eventually, get her in the water. So God bless. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you on the next trip.